Alright, what is up everybody? Welcome to the Bunker Live. So, it's been a little while since my last broadcast. I've been working on some system issues and upgrading a little bit. So, here we are again. Hopefully I can get a little bit more of a consistent schedule going from here on in. So, in my time off, I kind of worked through a few commission works I had and kind of got back to what I was working on myself. And what that is actually my Death Guard army for Warhammer 40k. So I started this model already, so I figured I'd continue on in the stream with this. So I'm going to be working on the Tallyman from Death Guard. So as you can see, I've already done some of the detailing up on the Vox speaker, a little bit of the base coating and stuff. So I'll talk about that a little bit. And I already have a lot of the detailing done on his left arm. And I haven't attached it yet, but I'll attach it eventually. So, without wasting any time, because I may have some battery issues down the road, but we never know, let's just dive right in. So, I'm going to start off very typical of me with this model. So over the Death Guard green I have there, I've already camo shaded it. I'm actually going to be using some Ogre and camo to kind of get the look I'm going for. Just going to add a little bit of that to my wet palette. And I'll be doing this almost like a glaze, so I'll be thinning it down a good bit. And of course, if you know me well, you'll know that I'll be using some flow aid to do that. So a little bit of flow aid to the wet palette as well. Now I don't have any Death Guard green myself, so I'm gonna make some, and I will need it going back and forth. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of Vallejo Game Air dark green to the wet palette as well. This is for just blends and some of the shadowing that I'm going to be doing. So with that, I'm just going to be bringing up some of these highlights here, just by doing some glazing. So I'm going to go very, very, very thin with this Ogre camo, like creating a homemade glaze almost. Just drawing the brush back off again before I put it in. Just want to make sure nothing actually just transfers as a goop. I'll be just kind of glazing in the highlight here, so not going to notice much of a difference at first, but after a few layers you'll start to see what I'm going for. Just doing the raised areas, nothing else. Creating a blend up from the bottom there too. So the other side is going to have a little bit more lighting effect on there, and the top is going to be a lighter colored and everything else. So as you can see on that gauntlet, got some highlighting happening here already. Just going to make sure to evenly spread across. You notice I'm going to spend a lot more time with these models too, just because I'm trying to work on my technique a little bit more than usual. So I'm not speed painting by any means, I'm just kind of going with the flow and learning to glaze more than anything at the moment. It's a very interesting technique if you want to get some heavy detail. back down over this gauntlet again because it's not quite as bright as I want. These, yeah, Franco, welcome back to the show, by the way. Yeah, these Death Guard models are insanely detailed. I really like them. And Death Guard green. I haven't seen Death World Forest paint actually. I'm not sure what exactly it looks like, but I think, yeah, if it's what I think it is, it's very similar to the Death Guard green. Probably a bit more of a blue hue. And I haven't given up on Fantasy Flight, by the way. I will be painting some more Legion models in the near future. I'm just pretty burnt out after the last probably 30 I've done. Just to kind of take a break. Move into something a little outside my comfort zone. Is one possibly a layer and one a base maybe? That could be what it is, because I know the Death Guard green is actually a base color. Death World Force may be the equivalent in a layer. That would be the big difference. More pigment in the Death Guard green. Yeah, the last stuff I did I did 2 sets of Royal Guards, one in a purple. I hadn't posted that one actually because I haven't completely finished them yet, and it is set in the red. The red ones really challenged me. I actually tried to do them without the use of any washes, and they went really well. I'm actually quite happy with them overall. And then I had the bunny troopers, the purple snow troopers. So yeah, with the layer and base, the layer is going to be less pigment heavy than the base for exactly what it says, layering. Well, it seems like the stream is actually pretty consistent this time around. Not like the last stream that I did. That's good. Did a lot of overhauling. I find washing is kind of like it's a gray area. It's like, I enjoy doing it. It's really good if you want to do some quick tabletop quality models, and it's especially good once you get used to the pull of the brush on it. But I find it always leaves some kind of pooling. As you can see on the shoulder plate here, I've got a little bit of highlighting happening here. Hope you can see it. Pulling up those highlights pretty far. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pull a tiny bit of that dark green that I put there down into my Ogre camo. That's going to serve almost as a shadow, but I'm going to be very subtle with it. I'm just going to pull in more of my... And I'm just going to dry the brush off a lot. I'm just going to go over the corners next to where the armor is going to change, just to kind of create a shadow in the recess. And this green I'm using is very pigment heavy, so it's going to create a very sickly green, which is kind of cool on this model. It's almost like creating like an unnatural glow coming from the, well, soon will be brass colored. See that there? I thin my washes a lot, actually. So yeah, there we go. I got a bit of bigger preview screen here so I can see what I'm doing. So yeah, you can see the highlighting a bit better there. So I'm just gonna wash that off. If you are thinning washes, use something that'll help it retain its pigment, like a flow improver or even like Tallyman medium, just because it's going to kind of keep the tone, but tone it down, if you know what I mean. Like it's hard to explain, but yeah, you want to try to keep the pigment in as much as possible, even though you are thinning it. Bring down the intensity, but keep the tone. Going back to regular Death Guard green here. Going pretty heavy on this highlight here. Just on the upper side of the gauntlet. I'm kind of going back over this section here now too, just kind of bring that back down a little. And focusing on the top here. Yep, there we go. So you see on the shoulder, you have that nice kind of highlighted tone. And what I'll do while I'm at it, is going to add a little bit of a lighter color to the palette as well. And what do I have here? I need to do a paint run really badly. Just going to take an off-white. Nothing crazy, but just game color off-white. Water works really well for a lot of things. Like sometimes I prefer water over a flow aid, depending on what you're doing. But like metallics, washes, that kind of thing, you really want to be keeping that pigment in there. I find water doesn't really react very well with metallics especially. So I'm just going to pull a little tiny bit of that onto the palette, not a whole lot. Okay, so the reason I did that is I'm going to just pull a little bit of that down into my Death Guard green. I'm lightening the Death Guard green, kind of desaturating, create some extreme highlighting. Not a lot, but this is just new techniques I'm playing with to see if I can do it effectively. The wet palette really helps with it too. So yeah, really lighten this up. I want my brush to be a little wetter here, so I can get almost like a glaze rather than a painting. I'm going back and forth here to kind of so yeah, you can kind of see what I'm going for. I have a bit of a dark to light gradient happening here. And this is still something I'm learning, so not amazing at it yet, but I'm getting there. Your own models are really something to mess with more than anything else, is to kind of learn new techniques, get yourself better at painting. Yeah, when you're going over black primer, it takes a lot of coats. One of the main reasons I actually stopped with black primer myself, very situational. Usually go for a gray if I'm going to go single primer. It takes a long time. If you're watching a lot of YouTube content on painting and stuff, Maniac, he's pretty well known on here now, but He does a lot of really good videos on blending, and I find it really helped me kind of understanding concepts a bit better. Shout out to Maniac, by the way. He's fantastic on YouTube. Definitely recommend him if you're looking for someone to teach you some good painting techniques, or even to watch some really good painting. He's heavy metal marine. His stuff is really good. See, I'm going very extreme here now. I'm just gonna play with it until it feels right. I have some Stormcast Eternals for Night Vault that I'm going to be doing non-metallic metal on. That's going to take me a long time. I feel like I have to allot at least probably 30-40 hours per Stormcast. Good thing there's only 3. I'm yet to try NMM. It actually terrifies me. I'm gonna smooth this process out a bit more. I'm having a little bit of Cayman green over to my palette. It's closer to the death card. A bit more of a bluish hue. So I should probably use that to help me blend a little. When it comes to swords and stuff like that, I did actually do one airbrush thing, and let me grab it. It's right above me here. I actually did a non-metallic metal style on my power swords, on my Grey Knights. So, this is them. Turned out pretty good. Not bad for a first try. But the airbrush really helped with the transitions, so it doesn't really count if it's that. I'll go with the brush next time. There we go. Created a decent little Death Guard green there if you don't. I don't say so myself. I'll help me with this blend here. That Stormcast might not even be a stream. It's going to be way too long. I'll probably stream part of it. But I would like to stream it. It'd be a nice little learning experience for myself and anyone watching, I guess. So yeah, maybe I will stream it. You've convinced me. Alright, so. Blending's not bad there on the side of the belly. Also, if you haven't noticed, I moved up to a new mic, and I actually have a monitor system now, so I can hear myself talking. Definitely helps a lot. Big time. A little bit of an edge highlight here. This model's very neat. Got a little bit of a mess made on the palette here. It's pretty great though. I also switched over to a new parchment paper for the palette, and it does make a difference as well. Every little thing helps. I've never tried the homemade ones, but they're from what I hear, they're pretty decent. I actually cut parchment myself every time. Just find it works better. Okay, that knee's not bad. I'm gonna go a little bit more light up top though, I think. Great thing about Death Guard is you don't need to be crazy good, because it just literally becomes a plague at the end of the day anyway, so it doesn't make a huge difference. In a second I'll show you what I use. It's literally just bought from the dollar store. It really shows when you take the time to actually blend. That knee pad looks pretty fantastic. Too bad I want to put the arm on there. You're probably never going to see it. So yeah, this stuff. Reynolds Kitchen Genuine Paper. $2 at the dollar store. Works great. I think it's time to get serious. Jacket needs to come off. Sweater needs to come off. This panel by panel method is very time consuming. That's the word I'm going to say. But it's totally worth it because that leg is looking great. Oh yeah, we've done the wear rat thing in my campaign. It's good times. But yeah, I wasn't gonna get into 40k myself. I mean, all hobbyists eventually get some 40k models, I guess. But Kill Team dragged me in. Literally went and bought a single box of Grey Knights and painted them. Oh, I think my... Okay, so a little bit issues with my camera real quick. Be right back. Alright, that wasn't so bad. I am back. Worried for a second. Thanks, camera. Kinda hate you, but you work well, so it's okay. Also wanted to give everyone, well, whoever's watching a bit of a shout. Thanks for coming in to watch every time. I really appreciate it. Talking to someone while painting makes it a lot more enjoyable, that's for sure. Alright, I think that arm or that leg looks okay. What do you think? Just gonna pop that arm on, see how much I'm covering. See how much I lose. That's not bad. Don't lose too much of it. Still get to enjoy a lot of the blending I did, so that's better than expected. Now, I'm going to move on to the other leg, and then I'm just going to do the back real quick, and then we can move on to some other colors. Because I know watching me paint green for nearly an hour is probably not the most fun thing in the world. if you can see that any, but it's alright. And have a little bit of that white, bring up the top of it a little bit more. Oh god, I took way too much white. I have to drop a little bit more of my ochre onto the palette, I guess. Make up for that. That's okay. Dogs need walks. Gave you a little bit of a shout out a minute ago, though. I wanted to thank you for being like one of the first people to start watching this channel, because the channel hit 50 subs this week, and you know what? I was not even thinking it would come close to that, but I'm grateful for everything. Alright, so give you a little bit of an update. I've finished this leg. Working on this leg here now. So, getting to where I wanted to go. Never really missed much. Lots and lots and lots of blending back and forth with different greens. Our palette is basically a green palette at this point. Can't remember, was it episode 1 or episode 2 that you came into for live? Because I know you've been basically in the crowd from the beginning. Yep, going back and forth with light and dark, back and forth with light and dark, non-stop. It was probably posted on the Legion subreddit because I was very active there when I first started off. I find a lot of subreddits don't like self-promotion, so I try not to go on there. I mean, not too much about, I mean, I like the growth, but at the end of the day, as long as people are watching me paint and someone to talk to, that's all that matters. Hopefully going to be back into more produced content soon. Still working on building a new studio, getting some new stuff happening. What? It'll happen. Likely have a move coming in the next few months, so that might put me on a little bit of a hiatus. Further year or two down the road, but just kind of moving somewhere small to kind of gather the forces and recuperate a little bit. But hopefully next year I'll I've lived in the small same city my whole life, so I can understand where you're coming from. I've been on a few trips and I've seen some places that I really enjoyed, so I think it makes it a little less scary, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's pretty terrifying. Just like any change. But as long as it's bettering you, that's the main thing. Another panel done. Ooh, I forgot I had a drink. I have two medium layer brushes and I can't remember which one's the old one and which one's the new one, so I keep switching back and forth between them. Usually after about 5 minutes of painting, I can realize which one's which. Oh, the blend isn't as clean as I want it to be either. This is totally the new one. Retains the tip way better. Oh, there's a better blend. Okay, I'm happier with that. Every time I put the brush on the paper, I feel like I'm making ASMR sounds, which is really strange because, yeah, I'm not going to get into it. If I'm not careful, I might attract a completely different community. When it comes to Vallejo Game Air, I find I have to probably go like 2-to-1 in airbrush to actually get any kind of tangible result out of it. I even thin it down. I mean, I don't really know the ratio because I'm pulling it into a wet palette a lot now, but I thin it down a lot even on the wet palette. I gotta say, like it's an airbrush paint is definitely thinner, but it's definitely, well, you know what I mean. Oh yeah, for airbrush, yeah, it needs to be thin further, 100%. And yeah, I can confirm this is the new brush. I can tell by the tip. Funny enough, I was actually going to paint one of the astromechs from Legion tonight, and then I looked at my airbrush and realized it wasn't cleaned out, so I was like, I guess I'm not painting you tonight, because I did not want to clean that airbrush whatsoever this evening. Because with him I had to prime him, and I really didn't want to do any priming tonight either. I must say, Death Guard models are really good ones to test your new techniques with, because no matter what, you can just nurgle them up afterwards. Doesn't matter. Throw a little bit of blood for the Blood God or Nurgle Rod on there, and all your mistakes are gone. I've heard people do that. I haven't done it myself. I actually use Windex, which, I mean, I guess the same thing as what you do at the end of the day. The media airbrush cleaner is way too expensive around my area. Oh, best thing to do is when you pick a faction, or if you ever pick a faction, just kind of read the rule book. The rule book for that faction will have pretty much everything you need to know in it. I love the 40k lore. I think it's fantastic. Probably what draws me to it the most. I'm a storyteller. I'm a DM. I enjoy a good story. All right, so let's take a quick look where I am. Lots of highlighting. One thing I find funny after looking into it a little bit is the Chaos Gods. I mean, there's no real good in the 40k universe. Like, the Chaos Gods aren't really necessarily evil per se. I mean, they're definitely bad and not great. But at the end of the day, I mean, they're more of a chaos concept than an actual evil, which is really cool. Like, Nurgle, god of these guys, really represents kind of like death and decay, but at the same time he's representing perseverance and eternal life, which is, I mean, if you think about it, it's really cool. Like, you're embracing he's kind of like rot and disgustingness, but in turn you're granting yourself eternal life. So, neat concept. When you look at the Imperium of Man in the 40k universe, those guys are pretty jerkish themselves. Like, a lot of them now, like, they see a non-human and kill it on sight. It's like everything in the 40k universe just needs to kill you. Doesn't want to kill you, just literally needs to kill you. Getting a little lazy on these guys out back. Yeah, the God Emperor is quite questionable, that's for sure. Especially like when you look at the Horus Heresy and everything that happened there. It's a dark time for sure. I've seen them around, but I haven't watched them yet. Okay, a few more hedge highlights here on the upper sections, and I think I'm going to call the green finished. It seems to be a lot more time than I wanted to on these guys. Alright, so yeah, with the units, like unnamed units, I just kind of throw them together, like whatever they're going in the field. Anything named, I put way too much effort into, especially when it's my own stuff. So I'm just gonna grab some Zandori dust. I'm gonna nab all of the seals and such that are hanging off the armor. After that, I'm probably gonna call it for a night. It's because it is getting a little late, and I don't want to make the stream go on forever. I was also hoping to get a bit more than I thought done tonight, but that's okay, because I mean, like I said, I'm taking my time with this model and doing it right. So Zandori dust is like my go-to dark tone for any kind of paper. So like on this model, for example, you have purity seals. Well, impurity seals, I guess you can call them on these guys. This guy likes to take notes. In lore, he basically follows through the army, taking note of everything that happens and calling it out over his speaker. Likes to carry a lot of stationery with him, by the looks of things. Oh yeah, if you look on his arm, he does have a plasma rifle on his back, so he can shoot as well, but he is there mainly to take note. He also has this little guy on his base, which I'll be getting to after. It's like a little demon guy carrying around paper for him. Fun little detail. When you put him on the field in the game, the way he works is, so I don't know how much you know about the 40k side of things, but basically when you start the game, you have so many command points. You can use those for like different stratagems, rerolls, stuff like that. The point of having him on the field is every time you use a stratagem and spend CP, you roll a d6. If you get a 4 or higher, you don't spend that CP. So kind of makes for some pretty crazy combos if your luck is in your favor. It's more of a straight up utility unit. Yeah, it's actually really cool. He's not too expensive. He sits in the back lines. He does shoot things to get close, but basically he's just there for complete utility. And you'll find a lot of that in the 40K game too. There's a lot of variation in what you can run, and everything kind of has its own unique little flair. Alright, after painting with her for about 10 minutes or so, I can guarantee you that this is the good medium layer brush, not the year-and-a-half old one. Definitely keeps this tip a little bit better. I have to ask, is my mic getting a lot of background noise? I know my PC does tend to cause that. $5 a piece isn't bad, actually. My shop sells the Citadel brushes for about $8. I've been using those. I don't really see the need to go beyond them, personally. But I have been considering trying some higher-end brushes just to see how they hold up versus. That's good. And my vocal quality is all right, I take it, is it? Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking, because my desktop does have a fairly loud PC fan, and I will be switching over to using my Surface for streaming eventually, which is whisper quiet, but if I'm not having any issues over stream, I'm not going to worry about it too much. As long as it's not interrupting the viewer, that's the main thing. I'll be adding text to these as well, so they will be actually have like little words on them. Well, not real words, but like scribbles more so than anything else. To give you an idea. Already kind of done it on this one. Oh, come on. I mean, do you want me to? I will transcribe every single writing of Nurgle into these fonts. Letter for letter, symbol for symbol. It will take me a long time, but I will do it. Not actually. It's so funny. This is like, they've hit the pinnacle of technology. They can't advance technology anymore. This guy is literally using a couple planks of wood for a clipboard. Because you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, if I knew the entire scripture of Nurgle, I guess I would be the keeper. We must find the Book of Nurgle. Little do they know, it's actually written on a model, not in a book. I'm gonna grab these little bone skis here while I'm at it. And the skull, why not? Bony boys. There's some ASMR sounds right there for you. This mic is phenomenal. Oh, I found another seal. I missed one. Hiding over on your other leg. How dare you? It's off sync, probably. I would not doubt one bit. Peaks in volumes. I mean, the gain's pretty low on the mic too, which is kind of funny. If you're wondering what it is, it's actually a Yeti Pro, and I am very happy with that thing so far. It's miles ahead of my old shotgun mic I was using before. Alright, before I end it up for the night, let's pop the arm on and see where we're looking for progress. He's not even close to being done yet, I'm not going to lie, but progress nonetheless. So, we have green detailing done, base coats on the purity seals, or on purity seals I guess you can say. Progress has been made, so he's getting there. He's not quite there yet, but he's almost there. Anyway, so that's gonna be it for the stream for tonight. We're hitting about an hour and a half here now. I don't want to go too long with it. So anyone who watched, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully I'll be on sooner again now than later. I'll try to get a more consistent stream schedule going forward now that everything's up and running again. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good night, everyone.